There's someone who really wants to meet you, um, is a big fan. And I said, oh, certainly. And I got up and turned around into the face of Dr. Martin Luther King. I could not breathe. I mean, you know that expression, waiting to exhale? And he smiled, and when he laughed, I think that's when I kind of began to exhale. And he said, I'm the fan, and my whole family as a fan of yours, and my little children. And then he says, and I want to congratulate you on the quality of your work and the quality of the character and so forth. And I said, well, thank you, Dr. King. I'm going to miss my co-workers. And he said, what you talking about? And I said, I'm leaving the show after the first season. And I told Gene Roddenberry. He says, you can't do that. You cannot, you cannot do that. And I wanted to say, what you talking about, Doctor? And he said, don't you understand what that man is doing? He's put you in the command crew. You're fourth in command. You can't abdicate this. You're out there on a 5-year mission.
I love that. Hey everybody, this is Mike, and you're watching the Reelblack podcast. Welcome this evening. It's kind of a somber evening as we discuss the recent passing of Nichelle Nichols. And also in the chat, we have to mention Bill Russell and Mary Alice, who also recently transitioned. Bill Russell the same day as Nichelle Nichols. But with us on the line is a very good friend and a Trekkie. She can do this with both hands. Nadine Patterson. How's it going?
Hi, live long and prosper, everyone. Live long and prosper, Mike.
I can't.
Yeah.
Here, I got it there.
Like this.
Oh, all the way out.
And prosper. That's good. You got it.
You've been doing this since you were like a little kid.
I was like 3, 2.5.
That's why I wanted
my eyebrow like Mr. Spot.
Eric is not here Eric Payne is usually here tonight, but he's not with us.
Oh,
he's busy.
Oh my gosh, this show came out in '66, and I was 1 year old. I don't think I started watching till I was 2.5. And to see Nichelle Nichols on that bridge, looking fabulous, and in command, and just every week she was there, and because of her, I believe that I could do anything at all. And I'm just so thankful for the blessing of her life. And I didn't know about her. I heard a little bit about her time at NASA, but I learned so much more by watching the documentary Woman in Motion, Paramount Plus. And it's a great documentary, but she'll be missed, but her energy, her spirit will carry on. And she was also a Black woman entrepreneur. She had her own production company called Women in Motion, and they specialized in STEM projects to encourage young people to go into engineering, mathematics, and science.
Wow. Well, that's something, we're kind of spinning it up. If you want to join the conversation, you can. I mean, we'll entertain the chat in just a minute. But hang on, I'm doing technical directing today as well. So if you want to join the conversation, the link is in the description, but it's also in the chat if you want to join in on camera. Otherwise, we'll entertain the chat in a minute. Yeah, the whole NASA thing is kind of cool. And on the channel, we've got her recruitment film, a 5-minute piece that she did for NASA. And you want to see a little piece of it?
Yes.
There she is.
Hi, I'm Nichelle Nichols, but I still feel a little bit like Lieutenant Uhura on the Starship Enterprise. You know, now there's a 20th century Enterprise, an actual space vehicle built by NASA and designed to put us in the business of space, not merely space exploration. Now, NASA's Enterprise is a space shuttle built to make regularly scheduled runs into space and back, just like a commercial airline. The shuttle may even be used to build a space station in orbit around the Earth. And this would require the services of people with a variety of skills and qualifications. Average good health is required, and candidates will train right here at Johnson Space Center, just outside Houston, Texas.
Yeah, that's just amazing to me. Because I heard that I thought she just had worked for NASA as a consultant, but she actually received a government contract to do this. And she only had 4 months initially to do this. 4 months.
To recruit members for
to have a big enough pool of applicants. And it's just amazing.
It's the
And
last
she recruited Guyon Bluford from Philadelphia. Was one of those people.
Wow. Well, just to go back, I mean, what in doing some research this afternoon on Nichelle Nichols, who passed away yesterday at the age of 89. I mean, everybody knows Lieutenant Uhura, right? But a lot of people don't know her backstory, that she was an accomplished dancer and singer and lounge act, performed all over the world with Duke Ellington.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's amazing.
You know, so she started out as a dancer, yeah. You know, do you want to speak to that from?
Well, you know, in the documentary, I knew she was a dancer, singer, song dance person, but I didn't realize she studied ballet. So she wanted to be a Black ballerina. And some of you may know that I worked on a film called Black Ballerina a couple of years ago. And ballet is foundational to a lot of Black performers who are women. And you can just see her grace and her power that she was able to hold just sitting in a chair. You know, she wasn't given the storylines that Gene Roddenberry wanted her to have. You know, DC Fontana, who's one of the early women sci-fi writers, would write wonderful stories for her, and the brass at the network would just cut her scenes down to nothing. But her presence, her ability to hold space as a dancer is what served her very well in terms of being in that position on Star Trek and being compelling and being a fan favorite with so few lines, so few stories and adventures. But she just always remained epic in our imaginations because we knew she was cool and doing something important. You know, we just didn't see those scenes in the TV shows, but we knew she was like very, very critical to the survival of everyone on that ship.
Yeah. Fourth in command, as she says in the interview that we did with her in 2008, and just shaped the few. Well, I mean, she was the first, right? So, I mean, she's the very first, so she definitely sets the standard and the tone for everything that's going to come after.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, can you speak to the current state? I know you're into steampunk and all that.
I'm into
Sci-fi. The current state of Blacks in science fiction,
you know,
will not be the way that it is.
Okay, so those of you who are Trekkies know that the first Black woman in command of a starship was played by I might get her first name wrong, Midge St. Clair.
Okay. Wonderful actress.
She was the first Black woman in command to be a captain of a starship. And in Star Trek lore, we find out in season 2 of Picard that Captain Uhuru was actually Cadet Picard's commanding officer, you know, in the late 23rd century. So her story arc now has the ability to continue because there's a new actress named Celia Gooding who's playing her in Strange New Worlds. So we're learning more about Uhura as Cadet Uhura in Strange New Worlds. And we're delving into this character that we all want to see more of. And in Strange New Worlds, she is as we imagined her to be. Funny, compassionate, smart, brave, thoughtful, engaging, and just fabulous in terms of fashion. And she just fulfills that promise that Nichelle Nichols began. So we're just
but I would argue, and I think it's a fair argument that if not for this woman, I mean, and also the way she carried herself after the show ended,
yes,
with rare exception, which we'll get to,
oh, no.
you know, just set the bar and set the standard for all Black sci-fi
All Black
movies
women.
and images that
And
we
in
get.
television, in non-traditional roles. So beyond, the housewife and beyond the mammy figure, we have Black women in law enforcement, Black women in medicine, Black women in the sciences are basically patterned after her. I think she set that template as a Black woman professional out in the world, but on television week after week. And so another descendant of Nichelle Nichols is Shaniqua Martin Green, who plays Captain Burnham on Discovery. And you see that direct line from Lieutenant Uhura to Captain Burnham. It's a direct line. And this time, the Black woman actress is the lead of the show. And I kind of think Gene Roddenberry would have liked her to have been a co-lead in the show. As he conceived it, she would have been. But again, the networks didn't think people were ready for a Black woman as the lead, as a co-star. And I think we constantly see that Black women always are breaking ceilings, always breaking that glass ceiling in each and every industry where we enter. And we're always told, no, it's not your time yet. It's not your time. And Nichelle Nichols broke that barrier, not for her professional career as an actress, but she broke that barrier for women, for Black women, for men of color in NASA. That to me is simply an amazing story.
Yes. So now we go to the 70s, and there's a lull. Not this, and she
conventions. There are these conventions.
This is before the conventions.
Yeah.
I mean, now, granted, this one has hundreds of film credits. I'll leave it to the chat to guess what I'm gonna play. All right, so name that film. All right, and we'll because Nadine's never seen this.
I've never seen it.
She's never seen the ferocious Nichelle Nichols that in 1974. All right, it hasn't come up yet. All right, so we're gonna play this, and you've never seen this.
I wasn't even here.
You goddamn rabbits. What the hell do you think I'm running here? A chicken coop?
Oh, yeah, for
Gentlemen, this is my family. These all prime cut bitches. $238,000 worth of dynamite. It's Fort Knox and Penny. Candy did $17,000 last year.
Oh my God.
Did 20.
Because
Paris model.
This is Chuck Turner. J. Mills gets it.
Show him your wares, bitch.
Okay.
No, she enjoyed this role. That's one of the other reasons we have to. The name of this is Remembering Nichelle Nichols. She's one of the tough. Next to Pam Grier, I would argue.
Comments.
Oh, the comments.
I want to see what are people saying. Oh, Lord have mercy. I love Pam Grier and the exploitation films.
Okay, sorry if I disrespected you.
Miniature star for me. Bad sister says Black Gold. Okay.
You weren't ready.
Yes, I wasn't
That's
ready.
The other side of your horror.
Anyway, she had to work, but she found her true vocation.
Well, the other trivia, I don't know if people know this in the chat. Her son was in a seminal film.
Oh, which one?
Kyle Johnson, yeah. Does anybody know the name of Kyle Johnson's debut, 1969? I'll give you the hint. All right, waiting for that to show up on the chat there.
Now, how old was he? A baby? Let's see.
Huh? You should know this, Nadine. Put your thinking cap on as a
He's old.
scholar of
He
black
was
film.
1951.
Oh, you're cheating.
I'm cheating. I'm not
There
cheating.
we go. Mo Weems has got it.
Oh, good. Okay.
The Learning Tree. He
He was
played
raised
Lee
right.
in The Learning Tree. Oh, Smack It Up, Flip It had it before Mo Weems had it. But yeah, so her son was accomplished. He's still living? She was living with him at the time of her death.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'd love to get Kyle Johnson on the show to talk about Learning Tree, because they didn't really.
Definitely.
Well, Learning Tree is out on Criterion Collection, but there's no fresh interviews with Kyle. So, if you're watching our tribute to your mom, please, we'd love to have you on the show. And what other? Oh, and Kyle Johnson is also the star of another movie that's on the channel. I don't know if anybody knows the name of that one, but it co-stars Terry Carter. So if you want a Kyle Johnson fest, you can check out. I'll give it a second. Brother on the Run. So Kyle Johnson had a decent acting career. His son, and Brother on the Run. Run with Kyle Johnson.
I want to know if any of the people in the audience are what their favorite Star Trek moment is with Nichelle Nichols.
Okay, that's a great question for the chat, or if anybody wants to join us on camera. Here's the StreamYard link. You just have to have your phone or your laptop ready with your camera on. But right now we are in chat mode, so I will I'll keep entertaining the chat. Mark Phillips says hi.
Okay.
Oh, Sheriff is on the channel as well. Mo, thank you, Mo, for that. JJ. Oh, the kiss. You want to talk about that one? That moment there?
Oh gosh, she's on this planet where people are controlling what her and Captain Kirk are doing. So it's a forced kiss. That's that interracial moment. It's Roman world. I don't know the name of the episode. So it's like, that's a weird episode for me. I'm glad someone out there likes it. I like The Trouble with Tribbles. I think that's hilarious.
Oh, I'll see if I can pull that up. The kiss with Captain. Yeah, does Mo want to call in? Oh, you've got people crushing on you, Nadine, in the chat.
Who? What? Where? Well, what?
A couple people falling in love with you.
Oh, it's the light. It's the light.
Well, we talked about women in motion. I'll put that up again real quick. While I look for The Trouble with Tribbles.
I recommend this documentary. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's inspiring. It's really inspiring.
So, yeah, that's her official biography. It's on Paramount Plus, and it's her whole life story. Any other insights that come from that movie?
I was surprised about her relationship with the astronauts who passed away in the Challenger accident. I didn't realize she knew 3 of the people on board. And that was very moving. That was very, very moving. Yeah. That was wild. I liked how it was filmed. Oh, I was surprised that Ben Crump, the civil rights attorney, he's one of the executive producers and co-writers of this documentary. That was surprising. And so he appears in it, and Neil deGrasse Tyson appears in it. And
as an ambassador, I need to tell people Neil deGrasse Tyson's going to be at the Kimmel Center Academy of Music, I think is the actual theater, on May 23rd. So they have me as an ambassador to the Kimmel Center. So whenever, I'm triggered whenever I hear the name Neil deGrasse Tyson. September 23rd, which I think is the same day Chris Rock is going to be in town at the Met.
You said September 23rd?
September. Is that your birthday?
Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, might have to take you.
93 people. Oh, no.
I'm trying to get this photo.
It's my birthday.
It's your birthday. But wait, you're not a Virgo.
I am officially on the cusp.
Okay.
So during the first 30 years of my life, I was a Virgo.
Oh, here's a question, and we got you're on the cusp. You have Virgo traits. Chris Jagnet's on.
Mae Jameson is in the documentary. Yes. You see images of her. Yes.
Okay, but no interview with her.
No, Nichelle refers to Mae Jameson though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Welcome, Black. You ready? He's ready. Hey, all right. So the first question: where were you yesterday when you heard the news? Hey, welcome, Chris. And this is Nadine.
Hello, Nadine. Hey, Mike.
Chris is a regular.
I was just home on a Sunday relaxing, and I got a text message earlier than day that Bill Russell passed, and then I hear she passed. My buddy called and said he was crying. You know, he's a grown man like me, and we just both reflected on how important she was to the game, and you know, she's the first in sci-fi. You know, within sci-fi, that's like, you know, everyone else is like and you know, nanny, sci-fi, and we're not really that prominent in sci-fi. And for her to be number one in sci-fi is like, that's a huge deal. A huge deal.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. Yeah. But she was like one of the first Black professional women on TV because she came on a couple years before Julia.
Yes, exactly. I mentioned in my text with my friends, like, yeah, we give Diane Carroll props. You know, she deserves it. But you know, when I was a kid, Lieutenant Uhura was like that was on syndication all the time. So. And
so, you know, to see, you know, an artist named Alicia Wormsley has this phrase: "There are Black people in the future."
Exactly.
So Star Trek was projecting Black people in the future, telling us in the 60s and 70s, we're going to survive this.
We're going to be here. We're going to be here.
And there's something else that is said in an online interview. Gene Roddenberry said that, Uhura will be from the United States of Africa. And Nichelle said, that doesn't exist. And he says, it will in 300 years. Hello.
Wakanda. She's from Wakanda.
She's from East Africa.
When Wakanda takes over the whole continent?
No, she's actually from like a real...
I know, I'm being silly.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
That Star Trek for me is plausible sci-fi. It could actually happen.
That's why it holds up.
Yeah, that's why, and it speaks to the social issues of our times.
Yes, indeed.
You know, my favorite Star Trek series are, of course, after the original TOS, there is Deep Space Nine with Avery Brooks, Lower Decks, which also has Black leads, Connie Newsom, and then there is Discovery with Shaniqua Martin Green. They're my favorite because I can see myself in those positions, dealing with those issues, and it's just psychologically healing.
Yes,
see ourselves in the future.
Yes,
and that's what Nichelle Nichols gave us.
Yes,
you know, because Martin Luther King said, "No, you can't quit. You're too important to the mission."
You got a 5-year mission.
And
fantastic.
She had a life mission with that role.
Yes.
She changed a government agency.
You know, people say how Bill Cosby helped set up a sort of imagery to help Obama get into office. She is the precursor to all that. She helped. She for everyone, black, white, green, to see a black woman on TV, being the head, run communications, and having that imagery, and never really. I never saw any imagery of her being compromised.
Until Mike Dennis just played that clip. Yeah,
but she was in charge.
She was.
You know, if you run the corporation, the secretary kind of runs the show in the first place.
You know, right. But also because she's a communications officer, she's getting all those secret communications, so she knows
all the protocols, all the information, it all runs through her. They ask her what's going on, and she gives them the briefing.
Yep. Yep. As someone says in the documentary, when she says captain, everyone stops and looks at her.
Bang.
You know,
Bang. Lieutenant Uhura, what's coming through the signal? You know.
Yep.
You know, I'm getting this, I'm getting that. Okay, now I make a decision based on what information she gave me. You know,
that's right on. So
there's an episode called the L'Oreal effect. It's the third episode on the animated series, which is considered canon.
The animated series. I forgot about that. That is good. I haven't seen every episode of that. You
need to review it because she runs the ship in that episode.
Yes.
She takes over because the men become hypnotized by these women on another planet, giving them a signal. And she's like, I'm taking over the ship. And she gets all the women around. And she's like, let's do this. Let's go rescue the captain.
Yes.
It's animated, but it's still canon. And it's voiced by Nicole.
Series. Yes.
Wait, let me pull that up real quick.
Finding us, yes.
You might be able to find a clip of it on YouTube. You know,
and because they did the voice for the animated series too, it is canon. So.
Yeah, and it was written. I think I was reading in the lines that it was written for Nicole specifically for her to run the ship in that episode. She was excited in the reading room.
Yeah,
and it was the third episode where a woman runs the ship, something like that.
Yeah,
in the original series.
And the writers loved working with her. They wanted to give her more lines, you know, but she persisted. It's just, to me, it's a lesson to all actors. There are no small parts when you're on screen. If you're on screen, if the camera catches you, you better be doing the work.
Yes, Nadine.
You never know who's watching you.
Back then, there's only 3 channels.
Are you an original Trekkie or?
No, I'm not a Trekkie at all, Mike. I was born in '70, so I watched the Treks. I watched Star Trek in syndication as a kid, and then by the time the new stuff came on, I was like a teenager playing basketball. I did not care. I still don't care to this day, and I have friends who watched it, and I just can't join in the conversations. And I loved when Avery Brooks became the new, and they kept doing the whole. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's some pictures where you see Uhura with the green hoop earrings. So Gene Roddenberry had her wearing red, black, and green, y'all.
Wow.
She was signifying, or she.
Wow.
I don't know, but Star Trek is always pro-black. It's pro-black.
Deep. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm my cousin watched enough science fiction for everybody in the whole ancestry forever. He was into anime and Robotech and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So, just trying to be my own person, I shot away from watching Star Trek. Like Star Trek was never my thing.
Deep Space Nine. If I were a black man, that would be the show to watch every single.
That's the required reading.
Once a year.
That's the required reading.
Because every book's he's a black father, he's a black widower, but then he also becomes a black man in love. He finds a romantic partner, in a space captain, and she has her own cargo ship. So it's a beautiful series.
All right.
But he also
how many seasons?
In culture, it's the 7 seasons.
7 seasons. Wow.
But he doesn't look like himself until he shaves his head. I think is it season 3? Somebody correct me. I think it's season 3. He looks like himself because they said we don't want you to go bald. You look like He's like, really? So he has this weird short-cut afro. It's so weird, but it fits with the character because he's grieving. So of course he's going to look kind of like awkward.
Disheveled.
But when he gets into his own, he's got.
So when would you say what season do you say it heats up when they finally got their groove?
I think season 3.
Oh, wow. All right.
3. But you have Jake, who's a black teenager in the future. So
I remember that.
Important. It's important for young black men to watch that. Deep Space Nine.
What do I get to? So, Chris, I can't find it in the chat, but I forget who asked, what are you cooking tonight?
Rice and bean. I have coconut rice and beans, jerk chicken, and some mustard greens.
Oh, wow.
I'm off today, so I had all day to relax and do it.
Yeah, I was off today too. I went to see Nope, which I completely did not understand. Nope, Nope.
Yeah, I know.
Jordan Peele. Oh, you saw it? I didn't quite.
No, I
understand.
didn't see it. I didn't see it. I'm being prejudiced.
Okay, I mean, well, he hit it out of the park with Get Out, and
Get
now
Out is the movie.
it's sort of like the same thing with Night Shyamalan with Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Now it's kind of hard to top those things, and
yeah, it's not straight ahead. It's a little bit more nuanced than that, and people get their own interpretations, and that's fine.
But speaking of black sci-fi
I haven't seen that yet.
Well, it's very much like a Spielberg tribute kind of movie.
Yes,
okay.
Heard big visuals,
good visuals, reminiscent of Close Encounters.
Encounters, yeah.
I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, yes.
But but I'd be curious to hear what other people have to say about it. 100%. I was not awake or conscious the first 20 minutes of the movie. After the previews were so long, they put me to sleep.
Yeah,
every movie that's coming out is a horror flick. It seems.
Well,
if you go see Nope, they front load the movie.
Yeah, because that's the genre that it's in.
Coming out in the next 2 years.
Yeah, come see these two. Come see these as well.
So by that time, I wasn't scared anymore. I'd seen all the frightening.
Right.
Comes on. I'm like, all right, Jordan.
I think also there's a misconception that we should be going into his movies thinking that it should be scary. That's
true.
Also, like,
or suspenseful. Is suspenseful a better term? Like suspenseful.
Yeah, suspenseful. But people don't really put. I mean, suspense is a category, but people look at let's go see a horror movie, and it could be a Jaws. It could be a Jaws speed, or it can be at jump scare, scream speed, or whatever. So,
well, that he kicked that door down with his brand.
Yes,
the same way Nichelle did. So it's kind of I wanted to see that before we did the chat, but I can't remember.
Someone mentioned Octavia Butler. Octavia Butler joins. I want to see the day when her stuff is on screen. It has not been adapted yet.
Well, some of it is being adapted. They're making a series out of one of her things, and
where it's taking forever, Mike.
Yeah, I've heard those rumors back when I was in college.
I've actually adapted one of her short stories that I would love to make it into like a 60-minute.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to see Kindred. Like her bigger titles, I think have been bought up, but
just sitting on them or something.
I guess the issue is you have to reduce it down to a screenplay and then get a good director and then good actors.
Well, it's possible. I mean, they've adapted other people.
Well, remember Toni Morrison's flop.
Well, they made the mistake of not having a black woman direct Beloved.
Oh, I take that back. Kindred has been adapted for series by FX.
Oh,
good. To get to flesh out the characters in the 6 hours.
Yeah, it has taken a while because there's an article from December 2021.
They did a radio version of that, an audio version.
Updated. Parable of the Sower is in development.
Parable of the Sower. That's like The Handmaid's Tale. That is, she prophesied what was going to be happening in America.
Devil's advocate. Will black folks line up to see Octavia Barnes as the headliner, and not black sci-fi nerds? I'm talking about regular black folks. I'm keeping it real.
If it's done with authenticity.
Go on, explain that, please.
Black people are discerning. They know when someone's trying to pull the wool over their eyes.
All right.
Well, we've proven with the success of Black Panther and Us and all these Jordan Peele movies that there is an audience out there for black Afrofuturism, black sci-fi, right?
There's a huge.
Well, Black Panther already had a built-in audience. Since the 60s had a built-in audience that was going to go see it regardless, black or white. That's a mythology that's been decades old. Octavia Barnes is not a household name in the black community.
Butler. Octavia Butler.
Octavia Butler is not a household name in the Black community. She's not The Color Purple, Alice Walker.
But she's known enough. Look, anytime someone like Dolly Parton says, I'm an Octavia Butler fan, she has fans out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think the fact that they're being made for television and we're in the streaming universe now, box office isn't the determining factor now. It's buzzworthiness. I think that if it's a hot show, like Nadine says, if it captivates you from the first episode, I think people could lock on. But but it probably is an acquired taste. I've not read any of her books. I don't know how many people have read her books.
Start with Kindred.
Okay.
And there's an Exogenesis series. She came to Philadelphia a couple of times. I met her.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Super cool, as part of the celebration of Black writing, and the
could that director from Nope, could he interpret a Octavia Butler movie, or the two different styles? You think?
Say that again.
Could Jordan Peele direct an Octavia Butler movie?
I think Ryan Coogler could.
That's even bigger, yeah.
If I had to pick a Black man, it'd be Ryan Coogler.
More character driven and less. He
has the
touch, the human touch,
ability.
Well, so then the question becomes: should a Black woman be the director of an Octavia Butler movie?
I think.
Ooh, sci-fi. Is there a sci-fi director?
I nominate me, or Tanya Hamilton, who used to be in Philly. I think she would do a great job because she directed a couple episodes of Black Lightning.
Oh, okay.
So I think she's a writer.
Okay. So yeah, she needs to. All right.
Julie Dash, of course.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the one who did Eve's Bayou?
Oh, Casey Lemons.
Casey Lemons. Yes.
Mm-hmm. She's still working?
Yeah, she did Harriet.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Well, tell Chris about your Harriet movie and where people can find you as we get to the 40-minute mark.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Hip Cinema, HIPCINEMA, and I'm part of a group called Sisters in Film and Television, SIF Media 215.
All right.
You can also find me at sifmedia215.org.
All right.
And the film We Are Free Because of Harriet Tubman is on my Vimeo channel. But it's also, where can you find it? It's on.
Thank you, Mike.
It's hipcinema.net. Hipcinema.net. I'll put it in the YouTube.
Yeah, I can always click on it.
Oh, you're gonna chat in? Okay, I'll put it on the screen.
Put it.
Yeah, so you definitely want to support what Nadine's up to. What and then can you break the news, or is it still?
I'm working on a limited series on the great inventor Lewis Latimer. For me, growing up as a child who loved the sciences, Nichelle Nichols and Lewis Latimer were like my icons that I constantly look to for inspiration. And for those of you who don't know, Lewis Latimer is a gentleman who designed the long-lasting carbon filament in the light bulb. Because Thomas Edison's version only lasted for 13 hours. Latimer's version lasted for 1,000 hours.
Where's his movie?
That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to do the television series, 6 half-hour episodes for public television. So,
oh wow!
You want to hit me up and donate? You can.
All right.
It's hipcinema.net. Is that right?
Dress in period costume. Also, let me know. So
hipcinema.net.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to put it on the screen. Okay, so space is the final frontier.
It is.
Some people would argue in our lifetime that our transition is the final frontier. She's moved on, and
to the cosmos.
To the cosmos. Everywhere. It'd be interesting, are they going to send her into space? Like what her final resting is?
Oh my gosh, I don't. Is she going to be on a probe or something? shoot off.
Oh,
with
you
with
cremated
Scott
and
playing
then
playing
I
the
don't
send the
know, like,
ashes out into cyberspace.
they shoot them out. I don't
what's
know.
the Irish instrument that Scott played when Spock died?
Bagpipes?
The bagpipes, right?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just hope she's someplace where maybe around NASA. That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would
Mm-hmm.
be cool. Yeah.
89 years old though, and you know, I had the good fortune of meeting her. She's a beautiful woman,
Mhm.
both inside and outside, and she gave us one of our most cherished pieces of footage. You know, her retelling that story about Martin Luther King has influenced a lot of people, and a lot of people discovered that information, you know, from that video that we have on the channel. Actually, it's on Reelblack Channel 2. You know, we have a Channel 2 now, don't ya?
Channel 2, Reelblack.
Reelblack 2.
That's the underground one.
No, it's actually, you know, it's actually kind of cool. It's kind of cool because it's the place where you
Archival.
find all the Dick Gregory videos now.
What?
What? What's that again?
Huh. It's where you find all the Dick Gregory videos, all the original Paul Mooney videos, and every day I mine the archive of original content, and I put a new video up on the channel from the past. So for those who are just discovering Reelblack, who haven't been on this 15, 16-year journey, actually it's our 20th anniversary. I don't know if you know this, Nadine or Chris.
Wow.
20 years for Philly Boy, 20 years from Jazzy Fat Nasties and Process this year. It'd be next year next year.
Are you
Yeah, one more
affiliated
year.
with the
19
Jazzy
years
Fat
we've been doing these
Nasties group?
things.
Who?
Yeah, Jazzy Fat Nasties. We did a documentary on them back in the day.
Documentary.
Wow. I have their 2 albums, man.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, that's dirty neo soul. You know, that's the real. You know.
Yeah. Well, Dick Gregory's moved. Hang on.
Huh?
I've had to move all your videos over to another channel on YouTube.
Huh?
Well, I didn't. It's called Reelblack 2, and it's
Huh?
yeah, YouTube.com/Reelblack 2. I gotta cue it back. So if you're watching this now and you're not subscribed, please check us out.
Subscribe.
All right. Well, Chris, enjoy your rice and beans. Oh wait, no, you got to do. Wait, hang on. You got to do that.
You do both.
Is it thumb out or is it thumb in?
Yeah.
No. This Leonard Nimoy.
The Jewish thing.
Is from a
Hebrew, a rabbi.
A sacred ritual in the synagogue. He was supposed to have his eyes closed,
and he peeked.
He closed his eyes. He was like, "Oh, that's cool."
he outed the sacred rituals.
See, all cultures, IDIC, infinite diversity, infinite combination.
Yeah, Mo was saying Roddenberry and Scotty had their ashes shot into space. So I wonder if the same
maybe she will too. Maybe
happen. Oh wait, there's an emoji with it too.
There you go. Yeah.
All
right. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Nadine. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, Chris.
Peace.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for asking me. I'm such a Trekkie. Look, I've been a Trekkie since the age of 2, and it's an amazing creative enterprise that just continues to grow and flourish and adapt. And I look forward to more new Star Trek and more diverse Star Trek, and to see the impact, the positive impact it has on the culture and the world is just amazing.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much. And just before I let you go, any recommendations? I've been watching a lot of the Kevin Hart talk show on Peacock. Do you have any viewing recommendations? So when this goes off, people have something to look at.
Film that you can now watch on Amazon is Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring the incomparable Michelle Yeoh, who also is on the Star Trek series called Discovery. And she's in seasons 1, 2, and 3. And check her out as a leader in her own film. It's a wonderful action, romance, comedy, family drama. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
All
Fantastic
at
film.
once.
Fantastic film. So I saw it with my mom at Flowertown Cinemas and on the big screen, and it works well on the small screen as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as Lori would say, rest in peace to Nichelle Nichols.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us.
Good to see you
As
all.
we remember and we share some of our thoughts, and our thoughts are with our family at this time. And yeah, we're losing too many that will never be replaced.
Yeah,
This is an end of an era, and just too many right now. Too
a lot.
many childhood memories. Are Bill Russell also,
Mm-hmm.
and again, people mentioned Mary Alice from
Mary Alice,
From a
amazing.
Different World,
She
and
was the original for Color Girls by Ntozake Shange. Yeah.
okay, wait, somebody's got a whole
And
slew of panel.
well.
Wait, hang on.
Wow, that's a lot of. I feel like I gotta go like this, just like, hey.
Okay, that's all we got. A Starship in her name.
Oh, Pamela. Yeah.
She lived a great life. Oh, Ekbach is here. I'll pop that up real quick. Yeah, the footage that we have on the channel is from Ekbach.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
from when she was here in 2008 for Ekbach, and there's like a little snippet. Like mainly we recorded the press conference,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a little snippet of her before she received the award. I mean, this is when we had to buy an hour of tape was $10 or $7. So
Right. Mini DV tape.
so yeah, I look at the footage now. It's like, oh, why? Like if the technology was the same way, we would have shot the whole thing and never stopped rolling. But at the
Right.
same time, there have been 50 other cameras filming it. So we happened to be there for the East Coast Black Age of Comics convention, and that's where the footage. So we have to thank those guys, everybody at Xbox
Yes.
for
Thanks for the
and for tuning in. So yeah, make sure that you follow Ekbach's YouTube channel as well. All right. That's all the time we have. We have plenty of time, but we've run out of things to say. So
I could go on forever talking about Star Trek. Just invite me back when you want to talk about Discovery Season 5.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan. All right. So I'm going to take you away. Thank you, Nadine.
Bye. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay. And thank you guys for hanging out and watching with us. I'll be back in the morning with some music and Gloria Foster. Oh no. Oh, these are okay. Mo, stop it. These are old names. I'm joining the chat late. Gloria Foster was in another movie. Okay, so we're losing a lot of tall trees now. So I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'll see you tomorrow, and rest in peace to Nichelle Nichols. Peace and blessings. Live long and prosper.